Hi again. In this, the final video of our course, we're going to look at some more do's and don'ts of an interview. We'll compare what is appropriate and correct with what is not appropriate or correct in an interview in the United States. When we left our interview in the last video, we saw that the questioning part of the interview was about to begin. The candidate hadn't made a good first impression. He's arrived late, was unprofessionally dressed, and had an informal manner. Let's continue with the interview and see how he does answering the questions. As you watch, ask yourself these questions. 1. Does he answer the questions well? 2. When he doesn't understand a question, does he use a clarification question well? And 3, does the interviewee have good questions of his own prepared? Ready? Back to our interview. Michael, you just told me about your biggest strength. What would you say is your biggest weakness?
Good question. To be honest, I don't really have any weaknesses.
Oh, okay. Well then, could you tell me why you want to work for this company?
Well, I hadn't really heard of this company until I heard it from a friend of mine who has this ex-girlfriend who used to work here. But I hear the pay is good and the restaurant food is awesome.
Oh, okay. Well, where do you see yourself in 3 years?
What's that?
In the future, where do you see yourself in 3 years?
Probably in your job.
Oh. All right, then. I've asked you a few questions. Do you have any questions for me?
Yeah. How much vacation time will I get in this job?
Oh, okay. In this position, you would normally get 2 days of vacation per month. So at the end of the year, that would be 24 days.
24 days? Awesome! When can I start?
We'll get back to you soon.
Okay.
Well, what do you think? I hope you can agree that this interviewee did most of the things you shouldn't do in an interview. He didn't answer the questions well, he used clarifying questions incorrectly, and he didn't have any good questions prepared for the interviewer. Overall, this was a disaster. I'm pretty sure this person will not be getting the job. Let's now turn to the other candidate. When we last saw him, he had made a good first impression by being on time, being professionally dressed, and having a professional manner. Good job so far. Let's see how he does answering the questions. Michael, you just told me about your biggest strength. What would you say is your biggest weakness?
Oh, that's a good question. Let me think. Probably I take criticism a little too personal, but this is something I'm really working on and trying not to let criticism, I see it as being personal but more professional thing. Am I making sense here?
Yes, absolutely. And so why do you want to work for this company?
Well, I really like the set of products that this company has developed, and I think with my own experience and the set of skills that I've developed that I can really contribute and help this company grow.
Okay. So where do you see yourself in 3 years?
If I'm understanding you correctly, you're asking me where do I see myself in 3 years' time, is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
Oh. Well, probably in the same role or maybe in a more senior position, maybe growing into a position with more responsibility, maybe managing a team.
Okay, great. I have asked you a few questions. Do you have any questions for me?
Yeah, sure do. Are there any opportunities for professional development in this position?
Great question. We do have a budget for training, and a lot of our employees use that money to take courses. But we also offer in-house professional development a few times a year.
Oh, that sounds like a wonderful opportunity. Great, I can't wait to start.
All right. Well, we have a few more candidates to interview, but then we will be getting back to you very soon.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you.
Pretty impressive responses. I hope you agree. He was well prepared and answered the questions confidently. I hope this candidate gets offered the job or at least gets called for a second interview. What do you think? In this video, we looked at some of the do's and don'ts of an interview. We compared what's appropriate and what's not appropriate. Next, we'll play a game where you'll match sample answers to questions. And finally, we'll get started on our unit assessment.